Hey guys, today we're going to take a look at flams, and we're going to take this from the perspective of a beginner. So if you don't know anything about flams, this is going to be a great place for you to start. We're going to look at technique, and we're going to take a look at some very basic exercises to get you going. So before we get to any of those exercises, let's first just discuss what is a flam. So a flam is 2 consecutive hits, alternating hands. Or feet, but in this case we'll discuss hands, and the 2 hits are nearly at the same time. You would say actually typically that the second one lands on the beat and the other one is just before the beat. So it's going to sound like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off playing the 2 hits too far apart, and I'm going to close them together so you hear how it should sound once you got the technique right. Now the key thing to note that when you're playing a flam, when you're making that stroke motion that I just showed, is that the primary hand, the one that's landing on the beat, is going to be a full stroke motion. And the other hand, the one that's landing just before the beat, it's going to be only a partial stroke motion, right? So if I want to do a right-handed flam, right, and that the left hand is going to be hitting just before, I might raise both hands up, but the right hand higher. And then I'll come back down and hit with the left hand just before the right. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's start to go through the exercises. So this first exercise is going to be 4 consecutive flams once every quarter note. Now, if you're not too familiar with how this notation is written for flams, the right hand, how this is written, this is going to be right-handed flams. The right hand is going to land on the beat, and that little note that appears just before the main hit, that's going to be with the left hand. That's going to apply just before the beat. Note that this is not meant for you to play just once or twice to be done with it. This is going to take a little bit of time for you to develop the feel, to kind of get into the motion of things. So take your time with this. Start off slow. Really focus on those stroke motions, right? Where if there's a right-handed flam, that the right hand is going to be coming up higher. That you're keeping that right hand on the beat. The left hand is coming in just before. For this second exercise, we're just going to flip things around. So now we're going to do left-handed flams. That left hand is going to land on the beat. It's going to be the full motion for the stroke. The right hand is going to come in just before the beat, and it's going to be a shorter stroke. Okay, so we're going to start alternating things a little bit now. We're going to have right-handed flam hits and left-handed flam hits, and we're going to have some hits that are not flams. Why is that important? Because you want to make sure that when you're doing the flams, you're not accidentally playing accents on those. Those should be normal strength hits, the same strength hit as your normal stroke right hand or your normal stroke left hand. Again, if you're finding that you're accidentally hitting way too hard on the flam notes, it's okay. This is going to be another chance for you to build up some consistency. All right, so just slow things down a little bit, and really focus on the motions. Okay, so we're making good progress. For exercise number 4, we're just going to alternate back and forth between a right-handed flam and a left-handed flam. We just did a little bit something like that in exercise 3, right? But we didn't do flams on every single hit. Why is this one different? Why is this one important? Because you may find that at faster tempos, trying to flip back and forth, you might kind of start to trip over things a little bit. If you do, that's okay. Again, take everything down a notch, slow it down, and just really work on it until it just feels natural. Once you do that, the speed will just come to you. Okay, so by now you're probably getting a good feel of things, and you're probably, once you start to play the beat, you might be kind of locking into it a little bit. But what happens when you're first starting the beat, or if you want to change things around, you might find that you start to trip up a little bit when you try to switch things. So what we're going to do for this 5th exercise, we're going to actually combine 1 through 4, and we're going to play them basically back to back. We're going to do 2 measures of 1, 2 measures of 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to go through like that because you might find that this process of switching, like I said, might throw you for a loop a little bit. As always, slow things down and then bring it back up. Okay, so at this point, I think you got your hands kind of working pretty good for the flams. We're going to start to work in some limb independence with that. So we're going to go back to what was exercise 3. We're going to speed it up a little bit. We're going to do 1/8 notes instead of quarter notes. And we're going to throw in the bass drum on 1 and 3. Okay, so now we got 3 of our limbs working. We got 1 more to go, right? So we're gonna throw in the hi-hat, left foot stomping on the hi-hat pedal. This is gonna be built on the same exercise we just did. We're gonna be stomping on the left foot on beats 2 and 4. Also, we're gonna throw in 1 more bass drum hit on the and of 4, right at the end. You might find that throwing in this upbeat bass drum hit, it may cause you to accidentally play a flam or something like that because you're so used to the flams landing with the downbeats. So just be careful of that. Make sure you're not accidentally throwing in flams on beats where they shouldn't be. Okay, great. So you've gone through all the, very basic things to do with flams. The next step, of course, is to try to start incorporating flams into a normal beat. And that's going to be the topic of the next video in this series, which is going to be coming out next month. So if you don't want to miss out on that, then make sure to subscribe. Until next time, peace.